I met Ryan Dungey, his first professional race, 2006, I think. He made his pro debut, I think, at Millville. That was the first time that I really remember meeting him. I saw some pictures of him and I together when he was racing Loretta Lynn's, but honestly, I can't remember meeting him. I know that sounds horrible. The first time I really remember meeting him was Millville at his first professional race. When I heard that Ryan Dungey was retiring after the Supercross series, I was actually really happy for him. I know how hard he's worked. I know the effort that he's put in. I know what he's sacrificed. He's had a lot of hard years. So honestly, I was really happy for him. That guy's accomplished more than I'm sure he ever thought he would, more than he set out to accomplish. So I was just, I was happy with the decision that he was going to make. You know, when I think about the years that he had and why he came to the decision of retiring, I mean, he had had so many battles with Ryan Villapoto and came up short. And he just beat himself up a lot. He was a true competitor, and if he didn't win, I mean, it was really tough on him. Not to the point where he would start getting poor results, but he just didn't like not winning. You know, I mean, when you work as hard as he did, and you're not on the better part of it, makes it tough on you, and I think it takes years off of your career. And he burned the flame, man. He burned it at a really high level, and when you do that and you put that much effort into it, and he never really had a lot of time off throughout his professional career, so that also takes years off of your time as a professional racer in motocross and supercross racing. So, you know, when I talk about the hard years, that's why I understand his decision, and that's why I'm happy for him. Ryan would ask me, you know, hey, what do I do about this situation? Or what do you think about, you know, how should I approach this? Once in a while, but through those years, I mean, he was at my place riding at my place, so I was trying to help him before he would even ask. So he didn't really, I never gave him the opportunity to ask. Once in a while he would kind of, you know, just out of the blue say, hey, what do you think about this? But majority of the time I feel like I was on the forefront saying, hey, this is how you need to approach it, or this is the way I think you need to race him. And it was, you know, it was tough on him. It was tough on him, but man, I have so much respect for him. He just would never quit. Every single week during practice, the guy would lay it all on the line. No excuses, just how can I be better, pushing the limits to try to win. And I really respected that about him. You know, thinking about how did Ryan end up riding here at the Goat Farm, I think his alliance with Suzuki and riding for them, and you know, my role at Suzuki, the opportunity opened up for him to come up here and ride, and really, I mean, nothing crazy, no crazy stories. I think that's how he ended up here, and he was great to have around. Just his positive attitude, and the guy never would do less, never would do less. And for the other guys that were here, he had such a positive impact on because of his attitude. So he was always fun to be around. I think one of the best races I feel that Ryan put on in his professional year for me, looking back, would probably be Minneapolis, I want to say, 2013, I think, with RV. That was really good. I think that was one of the all-time greatest races. There's been a lot of races throughout Supercross, motocross racing, but that was one of the good ones for sure. I mean, those guys back and forth, just the intensity level that they were riding at, how fast they were riding was really cool to watch and see.
The crowd that night, everyone in that.
Yeah, the crowd it was standing room only. You know, that was his hometown race in Minneapolis. It was cool. It was a awesome race to be a part of. What impresses me most about Ryan away from the track is just the type of person he is. He's willing to do anything to help anybody. He's very polite. He'll give his own shirt off his back for you. He's fun to be around. Ryan Dungey is always dedicated to whatever he's doing. He always gives it 100%, and he never takes shortcut. He's willing to do whatever it takes. His determination is second to none. I've never seen anything like it. Ryan Dungey will always be someone that I think of that had the best self-motivation of anyone that I've ever seen. You never had to drag him out to do anything. If you told him to do something, he would do it. And there was never any excuses. Ryan Dungey is one of the most self-motivated people I've ever seen in my life. What do I think about the sport and what's going to happen with Ryan Dungey not being in it? Well, he's still going to be involved, I'm sure, so that's great. I think a lot of people within the industry, maybe not so much the fans, but they're going to realize just how much that guy brought to the table, how consistent he was. I think a lot of the competitors are going to realize, looking back, like, damn, that guy was on it every single week and so dependable, and you knew what you were going to get week in, week out for years and years and years, almost 10 years. As far as the sport and growing, I still think the sport's going to grow. We got a lot of great kids coming up, so sport's going to continue to grow. But I think inside the sport, the competitors are going to really look back and see just how badass and how dependable and how consistent Ryan Dungey was. I think one reason that he can retire and be happy is how he won his championship this year. I feel, and I don't know that he would ever admit this, but I really feel that the years that he got beat by Ryan Villopoto, and then as soon as Villopoto retired, he started winning. I felt like that didn't sit well with him, and the next best thing for him, other than to beat Ryan Villopoto, was to win this Supercross championship the way he did. I think that set him at ease, and he's happy with that. I wanted to get that in there. And when I think of sayings that Ryan used to have, it's all, "What's up, man?" That used to be his go-to. "What's up, man?" One time we were eating dinner, myself, him, and Ivan Tedesco. We were all three teammates in 2007 at Factory Suzuki. Me and Ivan were giving him a hard time, and he's like, "That's baloney, man." And so ever since then, me and Tedesco and I, we always tease him. We always say, "That's baloney, man." You just got to picture it. You got to be in that moment. So this might be foreign to a lot of people, but he was so green, and just the sayings and the little words that he would have was funny. He was like a little kid, which he was a little kid at that time. So one of the funniest Ryan Dungey moments, and Ryan, don't get mad when I tell this, but I just have to. There's two. I'm gonna save the best for last. First one, we were on the boat on an off weekend. We were in my place in Destin, and on the sandbar, he picks up this sand dollar. He says, a friend of ours, "What is this?" And my friend says, "Oh, that's a sand dollar. If you take it up to the little tiki bar, they'll give you like an ice cream pop." And he's like, "Really? Are you serious?" He really thought that was the case. And last but not least, I hate to do this to you, but he asked my mom one time, my mom was fixing dinner, and he asked, "What bird does a ham come from?" Sorry, bud. Ham doesn't come from a bird. I'm pretty sure you know that now.
What about, like, you guys always had, like...
Another funny one, too, but we can't do this. His chick was playing beer pong, and he didn't know what that was, and he asked Kenny Watson, what is that beer, or what's that game? And Kenny Watson says, "Yeah, it's beer pong," and she was playing with another dude, and whoever wins the game, the other person gets to kiss the person. And he's like, What? Are you serious?" And just he didn't know. He was, God bless him. God bless him.
How about, like, you guys always had, like, stupid sayings that you would just wear everyone out with, like, "Hey, yeah, man."
Yeah. So.